Come on, bro.
The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable formatted conversational podcast about any and everything.
6 Black queens and kings from New York City,
sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we try to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
Yeah. What's good, everybody?
What it
What's
do?
good?
What it do? Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. What it do? All right. I am your host, Shake, other aka Mr. HSD, aka Mr. AFF. The last F is for fantastic today. All right. So let's move on. Let me introduce my cast. All right. On my co-host. Okay, first and foremost, I'm gonna introduce my man, Flash.
You just been in love with me all week, huh? You've been giving me my flowers. You about to introduce me first and shit, nigga. I appreciate you, bro. Damn.
Hey, Flash.
But yeah, what's good? It is your boy. Today I'm the man who believes that gratitude and anxiety cannot exist in the mind simultaneously. Okay, it's your boy Flash the Philosopher. It is he, it is me, it is I. What up?
What it do, Flash? Okay.
Yeah.
Next in line, the next person I'm gonna introduce is my girl TJ from the BX. What it do, TJ? The ice
what
cream.
up, tribe? TJ in the building, Unicorn Gemini, and I'm back. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I was fucking on.
I think it's a toxic ass nigga. I'm ready to talk my shit.
That is not the name of the episode, okay?
We changed that. We changed that in post.
It is not Shake is a toxic nigga.
That's what we should name it.
Okay,
a lot of toxic motherfuckers in this world.
So
True.
Whatever.
Come on.
So the next in line, y'all already know who it is. Our favorite number 3. We're gonna take it to the motherfucking X. Yo, Mo, what it do, baby? What it do?
What's good, tribe? You know it's your girl Mo, always representing the Bronx Co-op City Section 5. Don't ever zone my shit. What's good?
Never.
I love how niggas rep their hoods. I love when niggas rep their hoods.
I'm Bronx all day, every day. Of course.
Okay, next in line, we're gonna introduce my man Mash, Spew Guy, Drip. What it do?
That me.
Bring it in.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mash, aka Spew Guy, Drip. Please say the drip.
Drip.
For those that don't know, the gang appreciate you. For those that don't know, I'm representing the Spew. Spew is an abbreviation for spreading positive energy wherever. And as a Spew ambassador, it's my job to risk the lives of everybody I meet. What we out here representing? South Jamaica Queens. Only Queens make kings. And I'm here to talk my shit. What's good, tribe? I love y'all. I miss y'all.
I know. I miss you too.
Gang. And we have a special guest with us today.
Girl power. With a drum roll.
Yeah, as y'all can see, we got 3 squares with girls in it today.
Yeah.
So much oxygen in the room.
My girl, Xtacy. What it do, Xtacy? Introduce yourself, queen.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Xtacy. I'm here from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised.
Here we go.
Brownsville, never ran, never will.
There we go.
Hey,
never will.
And I'm here to talk my shit and give back my replay. I'm not playing.
All right.
That's right.
Wait, X. I gotta know why they call you Xtacy?
I was named that. A guy gave me this name. I happen to be his addiction. He cannot let me go for nothing. I try to run, but that grip come back. Well, I guess my gripped. Understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like it.
Make sure they know where to find you. Make sure you just give the tribe your information as well.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram. I do my little question of the day. Also,
it's not little. It's not little. Don't call it little.
Well, you know what? It happened to me. It seemed little to me with my small voice, but all the people that's underneath it and their opinions and the nasty stuff and
love this.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
But we get real opinions. So it's a question of the day I do on there. Also, I do other content and stuff like that. I do have a business and stuff like that I run. So such as like, entertainment, like for parties and stuff, 360 photo booths, snow cones and all that other good stuff. Also, I'm a 9 to 5, but I'm a mom before everything. But you can find that on my IG at I am_Xtacy, Xtacy.
Yes.
But the name came from him though.
I love it. Does he know that you're using this name and it's gotten so popular?
He's loving it.
Okay.
He said every day if you was to go with somebody else, they're gonna have to call you, but I named you. So you love
it. Anyhow, once again, I'm your boy Shake, and I'll be moderating this episode today. All right, and this episode right here is toxicity. But before we get to this episode, we're gonna go to my girl TJ to align our chakras. All right, go ahead, baby.
Yes. So this episode, like I said, I'm naming it Shake is a toxic nigger. And so if you guys have ever dealt with toxic ass motherfuckers, you know that you have to really use your intuition and your discernment when you're dealing with toxic niggas, right? Right or wrong? Ladies, fuck y'all niggas.
I couldn't tell you.
I know this is for the ladies, okay?
Pick up
so I decided for us to do the third eye chakra. Make sure that that's open and clear, and your insight is good, your discernment is on, your clarity is right. So let me give you some information. So the third eye chakra is located in the center of your forehead, right here in between your eyebrows. It governs perception, awareness, and spiritual connection. It's responsible for our focus, our imagination, and our clarity. When it's open, it says that you're able to provide wisdom and insight, and it also deepens your spiritual connection. If it's imbalanced, you may be feeling like you're having difficulty concentrating, or anxiety, depression, mental fog, or paranoia. Sometimes you're like in victim mode too. So let's go ahead and open up our third eye chakra.
Ready.
So all you're going to do is go ahead and take a deep breath in and out.
Cleanse my soul.
Yes, let that open up right there.
I feel it.
Okay.
We didn't do my no bad days intro.
I was about to say that.
I was going to say I didn't want to say it either.
I didn't want to be the one to say it. No. I just want to say that. I feel like
y'all why y'all fucked
somebody
up.
dropped the ball here. Somebody dropped the ball here.
I'm gonna tell y'all why y'all fucked up, because I actually did play it. Okay, but what happened was it didn't play because something was going on with the board. Okay, but I asked y'all.
Do we want to fix it? And then
no, we good now. You ready? Let's go. We can still do it, right?
No, we're not doing it. It's over now, bro. It's over. You want to do it right now?
Well, does it work for the episode? Let's test something.
Go ahead, Flash. Go.
I heard you try to boot a nigga earlier, but didn't pop through. So try
again. All right. So here we go.
Yeah, we should get the sound effects right, because we're also doing a game too. So let's make sure it's right.
It's on now. We good. We back.
Give my girl her no bad days. Give my girl her no bad days.
Thank you. Let me get my intro.
We hear it.
All right. On 3, 2, 1.
It's gonna be a great ass day, because I said it was gonna be a great ass day. I won't accept nothing else. Nothing bad will enter my day. Say that shit like you mean it. Howl it. No bad days.
None.
There we go.
Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, I needed that. Okay, so no bad days.
TJ.
So let me start it again. Go ahead.
No, but you want to start what? The whole chakra?
No, they just wanted to play the music.
You did that on that one,
because I was gonna intro the fuck niggas too. The toxic niggas.
Requested this earlier. Now, Flash, can you put up the 10 seconds for TJ?
TJ, you ready?
This is your cue.
All right, 10 seconds, guys. Right now, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. You can hear us wherever you hear podcasts. We're everywhere you hear podcasts. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google
Come on,
Podcast.
Come on, you got it. You got it.
iHeartRadio. We're everywhere you hear us. And then you can follow us on IG at So Ratchet Podcast. You can hear us on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast and on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod. Don't forget to go ahead and like us on YouTube at So Ratchet, one word, space podcast. All right, we're done. Hit that bell. All right.
Good job, TJ.
Such a professional, TJ. Such a professional. Okay.
Was I? Okay.
Yeah. You be getting it. Okay. So, so today, y'all already know what time it is. It's time for Shake's Word of the Week. Word of the Week.
Yeah, see Shake's tongue came out and everything.
Word of the Week. Word.
You see, that's why I ain't say nothing. I wanted to hear what he was gonna say.
Yeah, you be fucking it up every week.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna go into that. Okay. I don't know why I keep holding on to old shit. All right, because this is new shit. All right. Today I did not mess it up, and I called it the word of the week. Okay. So today's word of the week is decatect. Okay, and decatect means to withdraw one's feelings of attachment from a person, idea, or object as anticipation for future loss. All right. It's called decatect. Okay, decatect. All right. So I'm going to use it in a sentence. I decatected from my math class because I knew I was going to feel that shit anyway. Decatect.
Decatect.
Decatect. Okay. Decatect.
It's the last word. Decatect.
You could say decathected. Okay. So so when you decatect, it's like you detach yourself so you don't get hurt as much. You know what I'm saying? Like in anticipation for a breakup, like if you know you're gonna break up with this person and you could feel it coming, you detach yourself from that person so it won't hurt as much. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what decatect. That's what decatect is.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the pronunciation in the chat for you because I know how you don't like to pronunciate words, but yet you want to get points from these shit. So
oh my gosh!
I'm gonna keep that. No, because
I'm here to win.
All right, say less. And when I win, I will.
You gonna lose one of the week, nigga. Yeah.
Smoking in the other episode.
Fuck out of here. Give me my
Dreams and nightmares, bro. That nigga wanted to take away all your points, bro. And I'm be honest with you, I went back in the shit. He was right.
A nigga said proclivity like 3 times, and the word was like.
He used it in the right word though.
He got my roses though. I still got my roses.
Flash is angry because we take away his points all the time.
All the time.
Like all the time. Like he uses it so fucked up, and we take it away every single time. Okay.
Anyway,
moving along.
We're gonna start the episode off with X's question of the day.
Correct.
Okay. So the question of the day is, this is sophisticatedly ratchet, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the time you was all dressed in your good, being sophisticated, but it was a moment you had to get ratchet. When was a moment you had to really get like, yo, what the and what? Who the hell is this? That moment where it just came out, and you just forgot. You all dressed nice and professional and stuff, looking real at your best, like a nice brunch or professional, but the ratchetness had to come out.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Okay. I was going to say, but did it have to be a professional event? Because now I'm thinking about something.
No, it could be anywhere.
So
you just dress at your best, and it's supposed to be calm. It's supposed to be a calm setting.
So I'm gonna bring it back to TJ's birthday.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
Dressed up. TJ's birthday.
We were dressed up, and had our heels on.
We had bottle service.
Everything like that. We were at a club I think it was in the Meatpacking District.
District.
Yeah, it was downtown there. So we have, I'll just put the professions out there. We have a nurse, we have a social worker, we have at the time some an individual who worked for Beyonce.
Marketing.
We had,
She was in marketing.
Yeah, she was marketing, exactly. Mm-hmm. So those, we're not no half-ass females. We was, and had to get into an altercation in the club, and that was that. I mean, like a brawl.
Say how you got ratchet. Tell a story how you got ratchet.
Okay, so I became ratchet because I peeped. I'm telling you, my peep game is so strong. We were sitting on top of the couch. I seen two females arguing back and forth. I felt their energy, so I started tapping people like, "Yo, get up, like let's get out." By the time I got out, I was checking for everybody. I didn't see TJ, so by the time I went to go, like, yo, wish, like making sure everybody's out. All I see is this, like her head is there and her hands are like this, and somebody had her, somebody had her here. I fucking chased that fucking hand. I had on heels that had spikes on it. I put my hand in those heels and went the fuck to work.
Champion.
And was just like took off my shoe. And I think T, did you have a mark on you that night too? I think I had
no, but my chain popped.
Her chain popped. I think I had glass in my foot.
No. She might have clipped it. She might have clipped it. She had to clip it one time. She had to clip it. I'll make that long.
Yeah, it was a bad experience, but it was what it was.
I ain't mad at that. Yo, you tell me if I'm wrong for this. I feel like all the best boxers come out of either like Bronx or Brooklyn. I don't know if that's like a stereotype, but that's how I feel.
Where's Tyson from?
You know what?
Brooklyn. Tyson's from Brooklyn, yeah, I believe.
You might be right. You might be right. Right. So I had a situation where I had to get a little ratchet too. I don't know if for those of you who know, I used to work in Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brownsville. But sometimes as a supervisor, you know what I'm saying? Niggas like to come at me sideways and shit. And this one nigga said, yo, when I see you in the street, nigga, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I don't know what came over me. Usually I'm very calm in these situations, like, yo, relax. But at that point right now, I was like, yo, don't let this tie fool you, my nigga. Let me tell you something. Why not now? Let's do what about now? What's up? Yeah. So at that point, I think I was really emotional about something. But at that point, I really had to get ratchet at that time and shit. That was my ratchet story.
Wow.
Niggas in Brownsville, people. Yo, there was one point in Brownsville, especially during the pandemic when shit was fucked up. I was getting threatened every day, and I think I just got to the point where I was fed up. Like, you're not gonna keep threatening me. Yeah. Fuck y'all niggas, okay? Like, I'm not scared of you.
Yeah, so
let them know you're not soft in the postal office.
You complete, Shade?
I'm complete. Go ahead, bro.
Right. So I definitely think I have a couple moments where I step out of character. And it's funny because like I kind of had two, but I'm gonna just say one of them for me was and I'm usually like a calm person. Y'all, like everybody that know me, I'm real calm and laid back with a lot of shit. But there was this one time where me and Mash, we had, we used to throw house parties and shit. And we threw this one house party, and we used to have like this rule, like, people don't wear shoes in the house for these house parties. So people would come to our house parties and they would, in kind fashion, take off their shoes and shit. So everybody's shoes would be left at the front. It's no problem. And we had a house party one time, and I guess somebody came in with some like, some nice sneakers, Gucci, whatever the fuck they was or whatnot. And somebody pretty much stole those sneakers from the party. So like by the end of the party, homeboy looking for his sneakers, can't find his sneakers, and he's tight. Now we didn't know any of this was going on initially. Right. And come to find out, like, homeboy got tight, he stormed off, he went to go to Brooklyn, he went to go get the goons. They was getting the guns and shit.
How did he get home? Barefoot? Did you guys give him shoes?
Yeah, I think he had to go home barefoot or in the socks, so it pissed him off or some shit like that. And he went to go get the goons, and he was gonna kick in me and Mash's door, and he was gonna get the shoes back by any means necessary or whatever the case is. Remind you, we didn't even know that this nigga's shoes was gone or whatnot. And push come to shove, some divine fate happened where this nigga ended up getting into like a car accident on the way to come shoot up me and Mash crib or whatever the case is. And I found all this out like the next day or some shit when I wake up. I'm saying like, wait, somebody shoot guys on what? And when I found out, when I talked to him, I was upset at him. Not yet, but I told him, I said, I'm gonna give you the money, but I said, come to the crib or whatever the case is for the shoes. Because once again, I didn't even know this shit happened. So I get out on the corner with the dude, and I gave him his money. I'm still peaceful and shit, whatever. I dap him up, and I lose it because something triggered in me. Like, nigga, you really want to take my motherfucking life over some shoes? And I feel like I had to let something off my chest in terms of like, don't fuck with me like that. I'm not like, don't threaten my life type of shit, because I don't play that shit.
Yeah.
And And it didn't really end up bad because I think he understood like I was letting off a lot of frustration and shit, you know. And granted, I ain't here to kill no niggas and shit like that. But I had to let that off my chest. Like, my nigga, you know me through people. You know what I'm saying? So don't come at me with like the violent shit off the rip. And you know, like how I like to solve situations and shit like that. So I felt like I had to lose my cool and I had to step out of myself. And that wasn't really my type of lane in terms of how I like to talk to people and shit like that. And me and homeboy still cool. Like we cool to this day. It's all peace actually. But I'd be lying if I say that wasn't something that had me like get ratchet and step out of character real quick. You know?
Yeah.
So
it should say sophisticated, but okay.
You said sophisticated?
At the
no,
end,
I'm just saying the question. It should say sophisticated, and then you get ratchet, not sophisticated.
He got ratchet. He was both.
I tried to send that, yeah, but I guess
I feel like I was sophisticated. It was a sophisticated party.
No. I'm just
not
saying
you.
The question
Not
itself.
Oh.
It's all good.
You muted.
And no one
I
can
said
hear
it wasn't a sophisticated party at all, my nigga. I've been to your parties, my nigga.
Hey, watch your mouth.
I've been there.
Watch your mouth.
That's like I used to make drinks and I DJ'd at one of your
We
parties.
had free alcohol at
You
our parties,
DJ?
okay? Anyway, when they give you free alcohol, it's sophisticated. I don't give a fuck.
I had
Free
mad jobs
alcohol
these last
is sophisticated.
Okay, I'll take that.
It was all inclusive. We gave food, right? You had to
From the
wait for nothing.
Popeyes. It was like the Popeyes is making that's the house.
We gave food, all right? We had drinks and a DJ.
Everything.
Hey, 4 walls. And we
that was good. See, y'all fed the people. Y'all look
Yeah.
out.
That's it.
So
We were great hosts.
Anybody
you just had to take your shoes off because we want you fucking up our carpet. That was our downfall.
And Pew Game. Yo, after this event, everybody could wear shoes now. Every party we do after that, everybody can wear shoes.
It's like, keep your shoes on. Keep your shoes on.
Weren't you worried that there's a klepto in the group? Like there's somebody that you invited that was a klepto.
It could have been
like, that's
somebody
just
who was
whack.
invited by somebody else. I think it was.
Right. That's whack.
It could have.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, niggas think Queens is a nice. It's a nice area and shit. Some of the places, but there's some ratchet niggas that live in these areas. Be real talk.
Of course.
And then some of the niggas that pulled up at the party and shit. Like I'm looking at them like, cause I'm from there. Like, how the fuck did y'all get here? Like, who invited y'all niggas?
You know.
Yeah.
Who do you know?
And because I know the niggas, and I'm like, what y'all doing here? Like,
I'm done.
It is what it is. So, anybody else got a ratchet story? Or are we gonna move on?
I had a ratchet story, but then I was like, I don't want to lose my job, so I can't tell this.
All right, good.
Okay. I mean, it's good.
It's a good story. I don't lose my job. Yo, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Oh man.
Come on,
All
right. Yo, X, I know X got one. X, when you got ratchet.
Oh gosh. I'm always sophisticated. But
whatever.
I am ratchet when it needs to be. Gosh. I could talk about something that happened in my past. Where I was going to bear gifts to someone on their birthday, and they so-called friend that's supposed to be their bestie happened to be there sleeping there, and it happened after I had to get ratchet on that ass. Come to find out that was not his friend, that was his ex.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's what friend usually means. But
yeah, friends is friends.
What makes sense? Like, you know, Flash, y'all are my male friends. So it's like, you know, it was a lie, and she was playing the role of being a part of that lie too. Yeah. And when I found out because I'm talking with him, I'm dealing with him. He's a situation. And I go to the house like trying to bear gifts, like here you go, your birthday gift.
He got the next bitch,
and she just jumped up and ran, screaming, running in the room.
So who do you hit first in that situation? Do you hit the nigga?
I asked him. I gave them a choice, him or her, and he took it for her. Wow. He regretted that.
What do you mean?
Wait, you gave him a choice?
It was like a year of just them playing that role and just lying to me in my face. And I'm like,
yeah,
who gonna get it?
Right.
Wait, you literally asked, I'm gonna slap somebody. Who you want it to be? I'm gonna slap her or I'm gonna slap you? Like who you want? And he said slap her.
She's in the room crying and screaming. I didn't even react yet. I was more like,
what the fuck?
I never knew.
She could have played it off a lot more smooth than that. Like, that's stupid. She's so dumb.
And she made it so obvious. She could have played it off like, girl, I got drunk. And y'all so-called friends. And he's like, yo, don't do nothing. I'll take it.
Right.
So he took it.
Oh, so you slapped him?
It wasn't a slap. It was a couple of blows.
Oh,
good. Very good. Okay. Although we don't condone violence.
He took it because it was like it was so much because everything I kept pointing at, I was like the hints. I was telling him like she giving ref. I was, and they just kept up with the lie. And the whole thing is the respect I have for her. I don't respect her as a woman.
Well, she not as innocent though. Like even for
both of them not innocent. No, because they both was lying to me. And they both played that role. So I went there on some, hey, got your gift, boo. All right, so who the hell getting this right now? Come on, let's
tie it up.
Right, exactly.
Right? Exactly. I got you. I'm like, I'm on my way.
I wasn't planned. I had my food because he was vegan.
Mm-hmm.
I had my food, I'm like, I got my chicken and stuff like that, my chicken soup and ready to chill and whatever he want, I would have catered to. But that right there, just that flipped.
So you didn't give him a heads up though, right? Is that what happened? You didn't give him a heads up that you was on the way?
I was calling him. He wasn't picking up. So I was like, he probably drunk because we just had a birthday party. So I was like, he drunk. Let me surprise him with the hangover food and, birthday gifts. I'm over here being,
You're a good girlfriend. That's good.
Yeah. That third eye was
a girlfriend. It was a situation, y'all.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm a good girl. I love to cater. I
nice of you.
look
nice
as a man as a
guy. I like women like you. Don't worry. It's fine.
Well, he regretted that. He regretted that.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our toxic episode.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so happy we brought this shit back to toxicity because we went over toxicity 2 years ago, guys. 2 freaking years ago. I don't know if you remember the episode, but I'm gonna go down the list of toxic shit. All right, but this doesn't necessarily have to do with this episode. Like, we're not gonna be talking about, but I just want to go down the list just so you guys can remember. Okay, so the number one thing we talked about: gaslighting, deflecting, projecting, jealousy, judgment, controlling, joy stealers, and I just added one: serial cheating. Okay, so these are a lot of these are not all the toxic traits, but these are some of the toxic traits. I don't know if you guys remember gaslighting. Gaslighting was real big. Like, like we didn't even know what it was called back then, but now gaslighting, and it's crazy because I really thought about gaslighting because if you really think about it, if you cheat on your girl and you lie to her about where you were, you're gaslighting her.
Yeah.
Or if you cheat on your man and you're like, yo, now I was with my friend, you crazy. Like you wilding. Like,
why would you crazy?
Why would you even think that? Like, that's crazy. Huh? That's gaslighting.
Yeah, Shay, can we spread the umbrella of like what toxic is in terms of definitions? I know like you got those, but can I read like just a small fuller list as far
as bro. Go ahead, bro.
Because I want everybody to just kind of be aware. Like when I think toxic, I think of things that monkey up the relationship, anything that can monkey up the relationship. So a list of things could include negativity, judgmentalness, dishonesty, rigidness, rudeness, a lack of empathy for others, cynicism. That was the fucking word of the week. All right. Recklessness, pickiness, argumentativeness, quick to anger, bossiness, self-centeredness, arrogance, greediness, stinginess, sneakiness, thoughtlessness, disruptiveness, conflict avoidance, impulsiveness, laziness, apathetic, a lack of self-awareness, and absolutism. Okay, in terms of just like a bunch of toxic things you could probably consider toxic.
Bro, I can pick 5 of those and do an entire episode on each one of them. Real
shit, you can pick one of them. Each one of them shits. Each one of them shits. Right?
Exactly.
That's a whole season. That's a whole fucking season. We can do
that is a fact. So all right. So
coming soon, toxic part 5. we got more.
Word, we about to go down the line like 40 favors and shit. Right?
Remixing this bitch.
Yo, all right, guys. So all right. So I'm just gonna start it off like this, okay? So I believe that most people are toxic, all right? I think most people are, but we have to gauge our toxicity. You know what I'm saying? There's like some people are less toxic than others, and then some people, maybe like myself, might be on a higher scale of toxicity. All right. Okay. And then, you know, if I'm going to just name a few things that that if you fall under this, you might be toxic. All right. You know, if you think that cheating in another country is not cheating, you might be toxic. If you find yourself making your partner angry on purpose, you might be toxic. If you find yourself starting arguments to have better sex, yeah, you might be toxic. Last but not least, if hating your partner turns you on, yeah, you might be toxic. All right.
You said hitting them?
No, hating your partner
them.
turns you on. You might be toxic. So I want to start it off with. So I basically stated in a live that we had a few weeks ago that, you know, that all relationships need like a healthy dose of toxicity. Right. I feel like a good relationship needs a healthy dose of toxicity. So my question to the tribe is, and this is it a ratchet thought? No, it's a burner question. I'm sorry, bro. Can you and I'm gonna explain what a burner question is. All right. I switched it up a little bit, bro. It's not a ratchet thought. It's gonna be a burner question. Because the question I want to ask to you guys is, first, before I do that, burner questions are questions that are signature to the SR podcast, and it can be answered one of three ways: yes, no, or something.
That's right.
Ratchet.
That's right. That's my boy.
Yeah, I was supposed to drop off your cards. Damn it, girl.
Look, X is gonna have to tell us then because Jake was not on his job. Jake was not on his job. He had mad time.
Wow.
He had mad time.
I know.
Sorry about that, X.
I'm sorry, X.
And you know, Flash, you can tell that what time I'm free.
So you just gotta have to tell us.
That's a strike.
That's definitely a strike.
Ooh, that's a strike. That's a strike.
We'll talk about that after.
Unprepared.
You made somebody else unprepared because
that's a strike, bro.
Here goes the strike by proxy.
All right.
How you get strike on live?
While we live too.
All right. All right. So the question I want to ask is there a such thing as a healthy dose of toxicity? Is there a such thing as healthy toxicity? Right? Can there be a such thing as healthy toxicity? I'm gonna say yes. And I'm just gonna ask you, X, what your answer is. What is your answer,
I'm
X?
sorry, X.
It's okay.
Come on.
I feel
yes, no, or sophisticatedly ratchet. Yes? Okay. All right, so X's answer is yes. Hold, keep your cards up, please. Okay. Flash's answer is yes. TJ says nope. Mo says sophisticatedly ratchet, and Mash says sophisticatedly ratchet. All right. So I want to go with let's go with the obvious yeses first. All right. I want to go with the yeses. Why do you guys think that you can have a healthy type of toxicity?
I want to hear X's take on it. Go ahead, X.
The reason why is because for example, let's see, it's more of a sexual part of that when it comes to that. So that's why I said it can exist because it could be, we could have a deep conversation and I know where it's going to take us because I know it could lead to bringing an inner anger within me. But it's like more of a sexual inner anger with me. So yes, it could be like, I'm like, and you know what the hell? You like, shut up. Ooh. You just
your ex.
Yeah, right? I know. Okay. You just put me in my place and I liked it.
Yes, it's a sexual level that I know how to poke that, but not go so far where we both are walking away mad. Is the point where I could poke the bear enough where it's like, and I'm like, right back. We can together.
Right.
So yes, I feel that. That's why I feel that it is. And that's toxic because you're bringing something that you know could be on a borderline of falling off or being bad or falling off and being, so just shut up. And like, oh, he should shut up. When, you know?
I did remember you having like a reel that was like that where you was like, it's
like it's with the alpha male when you pop in enough shit and he's saying, shut up. And you're like, how about no? And he's like, now. Okay.
Yeah. You need a little of that. You need a little of that.
Yes.
So Flash, why do you think that we need a little healthy dose of toxicity in your life?
It's necessary. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like part of sometimes being in a relationship, especially like as a guy for me, I like to exert dominance sometimes. And sometimes, yes, that does come in the form of like what X was talking about, as far as like sometimes I want to see my woman act like a bitch real quick. Like I need that, because I don't like no walkover woman either. I like to know that like I'm earning my kill. I'm earning like, you know, my respect, you know, from this woman, because she knows either what I'm capable of or what I'm capable of doing or whatnot. And yeah, so sometimes the argumentative sex, and I'm not saying it's a consistent thing, but I like the fact that if we have a dispute and I'm going at it, she going at it, this, that, and the third, and especially if I win or some shit like that, especially when I win, like it's revenge, absolutely. And then I got to start talking all of my sometimes toxic shit, like where the fuck you think you was going, bitch? Like you wasn't going nowhere. You knew you was gonna come back for this G, like whatever the fuck you got to say. You know what I'm saying? But once again, it's about, I guess, reaffirming that dominance, or you know that in the relationship for me at times. And yes, and I like checking my woman every now and then, because I need her to know like who I am.
You know what's crazy? I feel like both of you guys' like answer for yes was like sexual, and I feel I feel like you can't be boring in a relationship, and I feel like when relationships get boring and flat, that's when shit falls apart. I feel like people go out and cheat and people do other shit when things get boring. So you want to keep shit a little bit more interesting, and I feel like toxicity makes things a little bit more interesting. Too much, but I think there's a balance. You know what I'm saying? When I say a healthy dose, it can't be too much. It can't be overwhelming. You feel what I'm saying? So I just need just a little bit, just enough where it should stay interesting, but not enough where I'm like, I can't deal with this shit no more. Okay? I'm just saying. All right?
That's
okay.
Why
your answer sounds like Sophisticatedly Ratchet.
Whatever.
Yes,
it does.
But let me go to the Sophisticatedly Ratchets, okay?
But why? Okay. Initially, of course, no. You know, you don't. It's just like nobody wants to deal with nothing toxic. However, I put Sophisticatedly Ratchet because, like you said, sometimes just a little bit of it can spark things up. Like you said, you don't want it to be boring, but you don't want it to go overboard to the point where this is just extremely toxic either. So that's why I chose Sophisticatedly Ratchet, because maybe you need a slight, like a sprinkle of toxicness, a sprinkle, a salt base,
a pinch of
it.
I co-sign what I'm saying, because I feel like too much is a problem. You said healthy. You said healthy toxicity. Right?
Exactly.
Everybody get to choose what their level of toxicity is. You know what I mean? I can't tell what ain't too toxic for you, but you got to have some type of preference where you like, I don't want to go too overboard, or this shit is annoying. Like this shit that you thought was cute is now I just don't like it now, and it's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, so a little bit is okay. Too much is too much, but a healthy dose, I feel like, you know, it could slide around on the scale. Facts. Sophisticatedly Ratchet for sure.
All right, so we're going to TJ. TJ was the one who said no. All right. I saved you for last on purpose because I wanted to change your mind. But go ahead.
Actually, I hated the fact that you said you need it to be toxic so it's not boring. And I feel like I'm a very spontaneous partner. Like I feel like you can add fun things. It doesn't have to go toxic in order for it to be fun and spontaneous in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to invite any toxic energy. When I was younger, that shit used to turn me on. But I don't want you to get me angry just so that you can have angry sex with me. Like we should be able to figure out how to have like freaky controlling sex without the toxic shit, because I enjoy that shit. I want to be made love to. I want to be fucked. I want to be, you know, like I want all of it, but I don't want it to be connected to anything toxic. Maybe the old me, but not the renewed me. No, I don't want none of that shit in my relationship.
Got you. All right. So, you know, the next thing I want y'all to do, okay? I want y'all to gauge your own toxicity, okay? We're gonna put this bitch on a scale from 1 to 10. All right. I want everybody to give me where they think they stand on it. Like I said, I feel like everybody's toxic.
Wait, right now?
Everybody, speak for yourself.
Give me where do you stand on a scale from 1 to 10? I'm gonna go down the line. All right, we're gonna start with my girl Xtacy. Xtacy, where do you think you stand on a toxicity scale from 1 to 10?
From 1 to 10, I give myself you know what happened? I don't know. I need your opinion on this. All right.
You could have just do a number.
The reason why, because you know what happened? I don't.
We listening.
I don't always give the same feedback all the time, but I basically whatever you give me, I'm gonna give back unless I'm getting paid for it. So if you give me a certain tone, I'm gonna give you that certain tone, especially if it's something heated in the relationship. So if you give me that energy, I'm gonna let you taste your energy. You know, but that leads me to be in control of the whole energy. So I say my level is actually 4 because I don't start stuff. As in to be that far where it could be I'm affecting us. You know, I am gonna call it out like, yo, you slacking. If you slacking, I'm gonna let you know, you know, and even so, only time I would let you know you're slacking if I was already trying to help before I even say anything. I don't complain. I don't like that. So I could say I'm a 4. The reason why I say I'm a 4 is because I sometimes could get carried away with your energy, and sometimes your energy could be so negative it could drag me in. So I say a 4 because I know how to stop it, but sometimes I could be emotional. I could be on the same level, but I've been holding back and it finally came out.
So your shit could bring you to like a 7 easy. Like it could
bring me to whatever level that person is on.
You don't gotta final form.
A 4 is good, you know, because it's not half.
I feel you, but don't push me.
What does being toxic look like to you? Like, what does it look like when you're being toxic?
You break shit?
Oh, that's a good question.
To me, well, someone that's toxic to me is someone that just it's like a troublemaker, you know, like you just need that. Like everything could be going good and it's like, here we go. Look, I knew you was gonna do this shit. You know, I knew you was gonna do this shit and fuck it up. We just was having a good moment, and then you fucking go fucking it up. I'm going to fuck. Let me get that. You know, like
right.
I'm the type that, you know, we're basically like, I'm not gonna start. I'm gonna tell you what you're doing and what you're trying to start. So I feel that what it is you being a troublemaker, or you're doing something to set off the energy to a negative vibe, and I don't want negative vibe. Only thing I want positive is my energy and the vibes. Positive.
No
vibes.
Bad days, nigga. No
bad
days.
Not at all. I don't want that. And channel your anger towards where it needs to be to whoever it is. Don't channel it to everyone else because you're having a bad day. And that's what I know that I grew into, as in, you know, mentally. I know that I have to understand that these people just don't know how to pull a me, you know, where I could channel. If you get me mad, if Shake get me mad, I'm not going to take it out on everybody else. Anytime Shake say something, I'm
motherfucker.
You know, but other than that, it's not. I know how to channel it, and I can't get mad at people that don't know how to be talented and channel it also.
Your question.
I'm a 4.
Your question, just real quick. I want to know, even for the ladies, do you think y'all like toxicity level is any way related to like when you're menstruating and shit like that? Would that change?
I forgot about that shit, bro. Because shit changed during PMS.
That's a real good question, bro.
That shit is an amazing thing.
So you're the same throughout.
I'm a cuddler.
No, I'm the opposite. So sometimes if I'm like cramping really bad.
Yeah, I'm more of a baby.
I don't know if I want you to be like, I just want to be by myself. I like to cut, you know, like just be by myself. But if you're on me too much, it's gonna aggravate me.
So give us your level, Mo. What's your level of toxicity that you give yourself?
I feel like I'm pretty close to X. I think maybe like a 4. Because I'm the type. It takes a lot. Like you poke me, 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 and then I'm gonna explode. I match your energy too. I could be. TJ would tell you I'm petty LaBelle when it's time for me to be petty LaBelle. Because that if you're coming for me, I'm gonna come for you. So, especially if I didn't send for you. If I didn't send for you and I'm in my corner minding my business and you sent for me and I never came for you, it's gonna bring me out of my character. And when I get out of my character, I could be on a level 10 at that point because that's where you took me to. But for the most part, genuinely speaking, I think I'm a 4. But
okay,
like,
I got that. So let me hit one of the fellas up there. You know what I'm saying? Good. Mash, Spew guy, what's good, homie? let me get your toxicity level.
Watch this nigga say 1. Watch this nigga say 1.
I knew it.
When I bop like this, it feels good in my shoulders.
Good guy. Listen, good guy.
He thinks he's a good guy. We talked about that.
Yo, on some G shit, I feel like I'm by a tree. I'm by a tree in the toxic level. I feel like if I had to gauge my own level of toxic, 2020 mash, 2022 mash, 2022 mash. I'm mad cool. I'm cool as a cucumber. I gotta be under a 3. I gotta be under a 3. I'm mad chill. I think about like my level of toxic. I think I'm at a 3. Yeah.
So you feel like you've decreased in the past? What about 10 years ago, man? So you think 10 years ago you were at the same level?
No. I feel like I was a lot more toxic then because I was more selfish. I was a lot more selfish, and because I had to be selfish. You know, I had to be toxic.
You had to be selfish.
I had to be. I had to make myself a priority because when you ever know like they're playing the role of being the nice guy and like you're a nice guy.
Being a nice guy.
Nah, you're playing the role of being a nice guy. Like, you're doing all the things that a nice guy would do, right? And you know that you should probably end things with this girl. Like I should probably stop talking to her. But. Fuck that. This has got a whole thing going on right here. She is fantastic. And she makes me salads. You know what? I like having her around. She pop up. She know what type of vinaigrette I like on my shit. She busts down. How could you not like her? Right. But I'm not going to let her go. Why would I let her go?
She's valuable.
When she gets close to leaving, you fuck the shit out of her, right? Like
hard with mad passion. Look in her eyes the whole time.
Where you think he was going?
Whisper her ears.
All kinds of
flash eyes is
a lot more toxic 10 years ago.
I know.
100%.
Yeah, real shit.
Yo, Flash, what about you, fam? You complete though, Mash? You complete?
I'm complete. Right, I'm a 3.
Flash,
I'm a 3 for sure.
So hold on.
Gauge your toxicity, bro.
Like right now, you saying like overall, like where am I right now?
2022, Flash.
Oh, it's from
2022 Black. I ain't gonna hold you. I fluctuate between 3 and 4.
Yeah,
I definitely fluctuate between 3 and 4, and it just depends on. I don't even know. Brush of the wind. It could be a lot of things because I know I could be real petty sometimes, and I know once again I'm not argumentative like that, but sometimes I have to. Yeah, argument. What the fuck you just said?
Forget it.
Argumentative.
Is that what I said? I can't.
You said argumentative. I didn't want to be the one to correct you.
But sometimes I realize that I might be a 3 when I decatect from the situation.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, my nigga? What you say?
Say it again. Come on.
Whatever. Well, that was in the business. Okay.
Good point, Flash. Good point.
You know what?
That was good timing.
TJ, baby, come on, tell us what you gauge your toxicity, girl.
All right, 2020 me, I would say that I'm about a 2, but I match energy real quick, and that's what I got to work on. Like I will match the energy and go to a 10, and I need to work on not going to a 10 and allowing myself to match energy. I need to stay at my 2 because I really don't. When I say things, my intention is not to offend anyone. Like my intention is not to be toxic. So it could be a misunderstanding. Maybe you saw it as that. So, but depends on how you come at me. Is like I'm gonna go to that 10. I'm gonna go exactly where you at. So I try to stay at a 2. Like that's my goal. I want to be like, butterflies and Zen yogis, but I match energy. So, but I'm gonna say 2.
Okay. Okay.
I believe that. I believe
well, for me, if I have to gauge my toxicity, I'm gonna put myself at about a 6. All right, and I'm gonna just say that right now because
no way, we would have never guessed.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like me not engaging you in arguments sometimes is being toxic. And hear me out, right? Like, because sometimes you have a valid argument and shit, and I refuse to acknowledge your shit, and I will be so fucking stoic about it and just. And so, and that's when I want to use the word decatect, okay? But I'm so decatect with it that, you know what I'm saying, people get so upset with this shit, and it brings their levels up. I'm not gonna match your energy. That's my toxic trait. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna stay there and be like, And my thing is, you may have a valid argument and shit, and I just choose to ignore it. I don't care. Now. And also, and another reason why I also call myself a 6 is because, you know, what Mash was saying earlier, as far as, you know, having sex with women and shit that hold on to the relationship and shit. I do shit like that. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like I purposely fuck the shit out of women sometimes. For
sure.
Fuck the shit out of them. I remember one time, I remember this girl crying and shit. I remember this girl crying and shit because I told her she wasn't the only one, and on her birthday. And she took me home, and I was just like, bitch, you want me to even go upstairs? She was like, yeah, fuck it, come upstairs. And I fucked the shit out of her. She was crying and shit. She was still mad, but I felt like, yo, I really felt so toxic at that moment. I felt the toxicity.
You just loving her.
That is crazy.
No.
So it's real, bro. It's real. So like and it just is shit. Like, I feel like people do this shit and they don't want to call it toxic, but that's what the fuck it is. Yeah. It's toxic, bro.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I give myself such a high number. I wouldn't give myself like with the 10 because to be honest with you, I feel like 10 is like almost like domestic violence. I wouldn't call it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I talk about healthy doses of toxicity, we're not talking about domestic violence. And anybody suffering some domestic violence, hopefully you find your way out of that situation. We'll make sure we post that. We make sure we post a domestic violence hotline in our notes, so you guys can, you know, look that up. All right, but we're not talking about that deep. But I will call myself a 6 because I am toxic. All right.
Man, good stuff,
I thought she was like a healthy 8. I thought she was a healthy 8.
Watch your mouth.
A healthy 8 for real.
Let's
not a 6. But okay.
Right. So after you over a 5, does that automatically makes you a toxic person? Like, if your meter puts you over a 5, does that automatically make you a toxic person?
I feel like it's situation based.
Yeah, facts.
You know, it's situation based. You might be more toxic with a side chick. Oh, the average? Okay.
The average. What's your average? Like,
I feel you're right. I feel like your toxicity can change based on the situation, but you have to average it out. Where do you average at? I could be an 8. I felt like at that moment when the girl was crying and I was having sex with her, I was about an 8 at that time. Fair. Like, I could get down to about a 3 or 4. I can get down there. You know what I mean? Until
I don't know about that.
Until Shorty asked a question like, let me ask you. When Shorty be like, let me ask you a question. When you know she about to fucking ask you some dumb shit.
You about to stop, no, and don't. You be like, what? Stop, no, and don't. Yeah. No, what? Yo, let me ask you a question though, fellas. Fellas, has a chick ever asked you a question and shit, and she was spot on about this shit, and you act like she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about? Yeah, for sure.
That's like,
unless you got the R. Kelly tapes and shit, the way how they got the nigga, and I don't got nothing. Like, I need to see the visual. I need to, because no.
Sometimes chicks be spot on, bro.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta make eye contact with me. You gotta see me. You gotta see me. Say you saw me. Like, that was it. What? You didn't see me. I was what?
Yo, I don't know. I don't know if I was telling you this story last night, X, but like, I remember like a chick finding here in my bed, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even sure if I did it or not. But I was sitting here like, nah. I wasn't sure if it was her head or if it was somebody else. I'm sitting here like, how? Like, I'm pretty sure it's been like weeks or at least months. Like, how? But I wasn't sure, so I was just sitting here like, babe, it's not me.
Yo,
I have one.
TJ.
I was speaking to my ex last night. We haven't spoken a long time. He's been my ex since like college. And I literally had to let him know that I had the voicemail password to his voicemail all this time. So every time I asked him a question, I was just waiting for him to tell me the truth. And I literally told him yesterday, I said, did you know I had your voicemail password this entire time? Like while we were dating?
At that time, pause. At that time in your life, TJ, what level of toxic was you?
I was about a 7. An average of a 7.
You was about a 7
So
at that time.
I was listening to that shit and I was like, nigga, lie. I want this nigga to lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, just so we could, I wanted us to fight. Like, I wanted to, like, it was just, I was toxic.
Yeah.
It'd be like, you know what's wild? I'm gonna be honest. That shit bothers me sometimes. Women know the fucking truth, and like they hitting you with it, like, you know already. Like, just tell me you know, so I can stop lying to you.
No.
And I know y'all get mad at that. I know.
Stop lying.
We're gonna make sure that you're gonna keep being truthful to us, or you're gonna be a liar to us.
Leave.
So you failed the test if you lying.
He said you failed the test.
You done failed that test, and let's see how much more tests you're gonna fail. Because then guess what?
I can't feel that test. I know I'm mistaken.
Lie.
I can't feel
we
that
lie
test.
too, right?
If you lie, that's when we're gonna be like, all right, fine, we're gonna be with the girls. But you know what? Even though we not, it's levels. Everybody keep thinking that women cheat based on their emotions. It's not all the time. Women cheat based on other things. So, for example, if I ask you a question and I know you lied, and then I ask you something else, and it's not like I'm going behind every week. It's just it's gonna be a gap, and then I'm gonna ask you something else, and I'm gonna make sure you stick to that answer because I'm gonna ask you that same question a couple of months from now. So if I see that you're lying, it's like, you know what? I'm a mind fuck you so good you're gonna think that I'm cheating. So I'm gonna get all up in your cranium. Take that, you know. So I'm gonna take myself out to eat because I don't mind being alone. But you're gonna automatically think
that you with somebody.
That you out with somebody.
That I'm with somebody,
Okay.
and I'm gonna make sure
So
it
you the
sounds
mind
so
trick.
good. The giggling on the phone that bothers you. Crazy. When I'm really laughing at a meme or a post, you are getting that all in your head. And then I'm gonna go out there. I'm like, pop up out of nowhere. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm gonna go out to eat today. Call me later. And then I'm gonna go out to eat and watch you. Where you at? Where you at? I'm not gonna answer a couple of phone calls because why? You need to know how it is to do it. So when you actually come up to that restaurant and realize I'm there by myself, right? And you probably, you know, y'all do Snoop, so y'all probably sitting there the past 5-10 minutes, like, you probably went to bathroom. No, you're gonna come like, so. You said you was going out to eat. Doesn't mean I'm going out with somebody. That your guilty conscience. There I go. And there's a little bit of the 1.20 toxic part kicking in.
It's the mind games for me. It's the mind games for me.
I'll make love to your mind, so I'll deep stroke the back of your cranium. Don't play with me.
Ooh, I like the bomb. I like that. Deep stroke the back of your cranium.
Relax now. Relax. We're rated R. We're not rated X yet.
Let me tell you why that's a dangerous game, though. That's a dangerous game because I'm not gonna go out there and look and shit. I'm not gonna go find you and chase you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna automatically
that's wild. That's wild.
And I'm gonna want payback. I'm gonna want payback. I'm gonna automatically assume you cheating, and I'm gonna want payback.
Has that happened in real life though?
Lack of communication.
Has that happened in real life? Like you went to a restaurant, like you dressed up cute, and then they came to the restaurant to check on you?
No. I actually was in my house. They came to check on me in my house.
I'm going out. I'm going out.
I went out to go buy something to eat. And he really thought I was out or whatever because I turned off my bell. A lot of people don't know that New York City apartment bells can go off and on. But I turned off my bell. I wasn't answering to nobody, and I went to the store. I went to the chicken spot, you know, in New York. I went to the chicken spot and went and got me a leg and, you know, my sweet potato pie back in the day when I used to eat from there. And right. So, I came back home. He's sitting on my kitchen counter because he had the key to the house. So,
like, your ass. Waiting for your ass.
Where you coming from?
Fuck you was that?
Chicken still hot, stupid. I just went back in my room. He just sat there like, so why you wasn't answering your phone? Because you got me mad. You keep fucking lying, you know. And I already communicated this with you. So what you think? This is what could happen. think about how I felt when you was trying to lie to me, and I know you was lying. How you know? Huh? This from this day.
Yeah, we always have the evidence. Yeah. We always have evidence.
I always have my receipts.
Yeah.
You know,
I ain't even gonna hold you, X. You just triggered me because I realized like once you start either pulling up or staking out the house, shit done got toxic.
Toxic. You over 5. You over 5. You over 5.
The most toxic I ever had. It was the most toxic I ever had.
Word. Wow. Yo, so I feel like we've already really gotten into this already. But I wanted to ask you guys a question. Do you think younger adults have a higher tolerance for toxicity? You know what I'm saying? Or you as a younger adult?
Hell yeah.
You have a higher tolerance for toxicity. What?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. I feel like my threshold for tolerance was at an all-time high. I was like toxic as fuck. You don't have a lot of boundary. Well, so when I think about it now, I think about the responsibilities part.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know what I mean? Like responsibilities make me have to be all right. So when I think about like how toxic I could be with a chick, like to have like mad kids and be like a dad that's absent, that's mad toxic. That's crazy. I don't ever want to be that toxic. Like that's crazy. I don't ever want to have that's wild toxic. I never want to be that toxic. But I feel like this is skill. I feel like this is skill.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Wait, what was the question?
But can you, when you were younger, could you have been toxic?
Or higher
level
for toxicity.
Fuck yeah. I don't.
When you or just the younger in general.
Like did you have a higher tolerance for yourself or your partner? Did you have a higher tolerance?
I know. I think I had a. I don't know how to say it, but like I guess I had like a low tolerance to toxicity, and I know back in my days when I was simping and growing up and just learning about women, because I didn't really have a lot of male role models early on in my life to kind of school me on how to game or talk to women or anything. I had to really experience women from just like trial and error with everything, even when it came to trying to understand like, nigga, you got to put your foot down. Maybe this is why I'm the way I am right now, because it's like I feel like yes, there were women, especially older women, they took advantage of my ass and shit. And I feel like there was a lot of events where either because they know I want sex, probably I'm young, I'm horny, I'm waiting to give out some dick, and they would use that to their benefit to either like utilize me for money. Look, I used to have one chick, she used to fucking come to my job. She'd take the bus to my job, take my motherfucking car, use my gas up, return my shit to me with no fucking gas, and I was just like, "You're gonna be back again tomorrow? I'll fill it up, baby." like, bro.
Oh my God. I love that you called it simping. I love that you called it simping.
What would you call it? What would you call it? What the fuck would you call it?
I love it. I think that's called simping. That's simping. I've done that. I've done that when I was younger.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure we was clear on terms.
Yeah. So in my mind too, especially for like this woman that always like controlled and withheld the sex and shit like that, I was sitting here like, yeah, I felt like she was either in so much control of the situation or she used the situation and whatever I had to her advantage, and I was just like, damn, I think this bitch love me, but that probably wasn't even the case. It's just that she saw an easy come up. Young nigga probably had a couple things she can, get from a nigga, and that's what it was. So yeah, I definitely had a low tolerance, and I had to really build my shit up over the years because
high tolerance.
Oh, whatever. I had a high tolerance. Correct. Yeah, sorry. I had a high tolerance for it.
It's a high tolerance.
Yeah,
that means you allowed more of it.
She driving the V.
Yeah, driving the V. I told y'all I used to have one chick that I used to buy $100 plates of food for the bitch, and I'm just sitting here like half the time I just wanted to order water and salad. I'm saying I ain't come to eat.
Nigga don't even got enough money.
I ain't got no money.
I ain't got no money.
This is the one, and I'm gonna just watch her eat. Like, yeah, it was.
Oh man,
but once again, I love you, girl. I'm gonna jelly sandwich when I get home.
Yeah, but yeah, these are my younger whole days. Yeah, but these are my younger whole days. But like I said, me having to just understand how to navigate women, and I built up, I guess, that tolerance or that muscle to say like, oh, I know what this is. Oh yeah, you just going to flash the ass in front of me. You think I'm gonna just do whatever the fuck you want? No, bitch. Guess what? I won't call you for 5 days. Then I get the text message like shit. There's certain shit for men that work once we don't. I'm gonna just speak for myself. Once I don't let women ever like walk over me or think that they can take advantage or feel entitled to something from me. And it works for me. And I'm just be honest, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keys, you said it works for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody else?
I think
have a higher tolerance.
I think younger people in general may have a higher tolerance for toxic, because they're just living life. You know what I mean? Like they're not projecting to see their future right in that moment. It's just like I'm young and I'm whatever. So perhaps yes. In my younger days, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember doing shit that I'm just like,
give us an example.
I remember I was talking.
When were you at your highest? When were you at your highest level of toxic?
What was done to you? Who hurt you?
No. We get to that. We get to that. Who was the highest level of toxic? When were you at your peak? When were you at your peak level of toxic?
My peak level of was that toxic though?
Tell us.
If you gotta ask.
No, it wasn't.
Tell us.
I guess but this was in my adult life because I was just so.
Let us give you a number of how toxic it was.
When I found out that my ex was cheating, and I pulled up on Shorty's job in all black, ready to lay hands on her, and by the grace of God, she didn't go to work that day. It's the truth.
Pulled up. Did you bring the squad, or it was just you?
No, it was me and my friend.
Of course,
I'm
you
not
had
gonna
to
say
bring
her
the
name. And after we got back in the car, but she was like, Mo, why did I do this? Like, what?
She your girl. She did what she was supposed to do. She rode. Okay?
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
It was crazy.
When you toxic, your girl got to match that shit.
Friends got to match it. Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
Yo,
but
do you think that?
I don't know if that was toxic. I don't know if that was toxic or
what number would we give Mo?
I was just in my feelings.
I would give you a 6.
Yeah, that was
about a
toxic
6.
to me.
Yeah.
But what I did do,
about a 7. About a 7. You brought a goon with you.
In my younger day, because I was didn't care. I was dating a guy. He was my boyfriend at the time, and there was another girl who I guess he was talking to, and me and the girl called him out there. We went to we called him out there together. Like I knew her, she knew me. Me and her spoke. She was like, "Yo, let's go to the house." And
together.
You remember this story?
Y'all both toxic.
Yo,
we went y'all synced up. Y'all did the
toxic team up. Toxic team up.
This story was crazy.
DT, toxic team up. Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
This story was insane. This because it started to go left. That's why I was like, oh no. So me and her just teamed up, and
what did y'all do?
So we teamed up. She tied him up.
Shit,
wait,
hold up. Huh? Wait, Mo, you don't know the statute of limitations.
No.
No, yeah, she tied. Yeah, he was naked because she was alluded as if we was gonna do something with him or whatever. So she tied him up.
Good.
She poured honey on him, everything like that.
I'm getting Fresh Prince vibes.
Because when she did that, I was like, now you went too far. She actually was like got on top of him. She's like got on top of him and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. Because that wasn't it. And then after that, we got a belt and beat him.
Are you serious? I remember that part.
Yes. And then after that, and then like I'm not that type of person. I think she's like ran out with his phone or something like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. This is when we
that's
was like 7.
Wow. That's about a 9. That's about an 8.
That's about a 9.
Well, she was a 9. She said she didn't beat him, but she was witness.
Y'all niggas chose violence.
You ain't stop it. You ain't stop it. So you was
I hit him with the belt though one time. I was like, but yeah, that was young. I was young.
Wow. I bet she won't be cheating no more. Too close to the area.
That's what happened when you fuse with another toxic chick.
I bet you're not going to cheat too close to home no more.
Yo, that shit is crazy.
That was good. I love that.
That's crazy.
That's how dirty boys get clean.
Toxic. I love that.
Yeah.
Toxic.
That's funny.
Man.
You definitely about a 9 with that one, Mo. I'm glad you shared that story so we can tell you that you had a 9 with that one. So your average, I don't know. What's your average?
She said, what she said 3?
4.
I said a 4.
It was a 4.
Nigga, she's 4 on the possible. 4 on the possible, nigga.
Match toxicity.
4 on the possible.
Definitely matched in that situation.
Yeah,
right there.
Definitely.
Oh, that was wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
It was funny. I mean, now if I look back, I can laugh at it, but it was just
because you didn't go to jail. You can laugh.
I know. That's why. Word. That's why I said it was stupid. We were young and dumb. Like it was crazy.
He would have never called the cops.
He didn't call the cops. He still was talking to me after. He still wanted to talk to me afterwards. And the girl, what she did was like she ran out with some of his stuff. Like when I got home, I had like a cell phone in my pocket. I was like, yo, I brought him his cell phone back, like because that wasn't it wasn't that serious for me to do all of that.
You're not that toxic.
Yeah, I'm not that fucking toxic.
Yeah, you lowered your levels and shit.
That nigga was
because they defused.
He was turned on.
She got home. She thought about it. She was like, you know what? Shit got way too crazy. Crazy. Let me get his phone back. I hope that nigga
get back his phone because it got out of hand.
Did they unlock his hands and did they let him out of the movie?
Let me let you out, but be sure it could happen worse.
His friend happened to be there or whatever. Okay. So that's how he got out of it.
He allowed this shit to go on.
Wait, y'all left him like that?
Yes, you ran out the house.
They ran out the house. They let him
up. He had to call his boy.
He had to call him. He was screaming for somebody for a minute. If he had no phone, he screamed for a while.
Wow.
His boy thought that shit he was having some freaky sex.
I remember his friend's name. He was downstairs or something like that. So when he was like, oh, because he knew me. He was like, oh, what up? And then he saw her. He was like, what the I thought in their mind,
right? They thought it got crazy.
They thought it was gonna be like a threesome or something. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna just chill down here." No,
nah,
that's funny.
Shit got crazy. Shit got crazy.
It got crazy.
Yeah. Anybody else? Do you think younger folks have a higher tolerance for toxicity?
I do think they do. I do feel like they do. I think we're all learning ourselves when we're younger. And so you're doing stuff and you're like, oh shit, like I didn't even know I could do that shit. You know what I mean? Like you surprise yourself with some of the shit you do when you're younger. And it's all good because you feel like, time is yours. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think when you're younger, you do toxic shit and you allow more toxic shit in your life because you think it's fun. And, like Mo just said, she did this shit when she was like a teenager. Like that was fun to her. Like,
yeah, I think I was 16.
No, I don't have time for that. So yeah, when you're younger, yes.
TJ, you ever treat a nigga like that girl treated Flash? Taking all his shit and then treating him like shit. You feel like that?
I shared this with you guys in another episode where when I was toxic, that was the younger me, is because I didn't see the way that I was showing my love was a very toxic way because I grew up in a abusive home, right? Like I saw my father be very abusive and everyone stay, and like my mom stayed and whatever. So I felt like if you stayed, you loved me. And so this guy, I remember he bought he bought a Benz, Mo. Well, no, it was a BMW.
It's a BMW.
BMW drop top car. And I was in high school. I would take his car, drive it to high school, have all my friends in that shit, and he would take the train to work.
At least I drove to work. Don't do me like that. Like,
he would give me his car, and I would just drive it wherever I wanted to. He taught me how to drive, and I was like, I drive better than you. You know what I mean? Like, let me drive. And I was like, I'll come pick you up. Like, I'll drop you off, and I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and I'll pick you up later. You know what I mean?
Like, I car for the day is toxic.
But he also allowed it, and so.
At one point, do we make a scale for simps? Like we should make a scale of how much of a simp
he was still learning himself.
Yeah,
at that time
he was still young too.
We were 17, right?
Yeah.
We were really young.
Yeah,
and he had a Benz, a BMW at 17, at 19. That's
but I'm on the train though. I'm on the train and I'm giving you my car. That is like the large simp. That's like a
no, because he looked at her as being his girlfriend and needing. And
are you crazy? You know,
and needing the car. So and he got to go.
17.
Look at she's adorable.
I
am. yo. And the crazy shit is, I feel like my level of simpness when I was younger kind of was higher. I felt like it gets lower as I get older because there's a lot less shit that I will tolerate as I get older. You will not fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I felt like I was toxic back then as well. But I was also kind of a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're toxic and a simp. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I do feel like, I feel like for women, I think women's level of toxicity is a little higher though when they're younger, and it gets the toxic. Here's the thing. I think men operate on two different scales. Okay, like I feel like your toxicity can increase as you get older and shit. Like it increases, then it levels off, and then you can kind of lower it. For women, I think you got to start off with a high toxicity, and it goes down and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I feel like that's what it is. Because I feel like niggas is too much. If you're a simp, you can't be a toxic simp. You think you can be a toxic simp? You feel like the nigga who you taking advantage of was toxic?
No, he just being used.
No,
So
I think that some women have been used too, and I don't know what we would call that for women. You know, like you allow men to step all over you when you're younger because you're learning.
But you know what it is,
learning.
I think younger women, and this is why you probably see so many issues with even like the R. Kelly and all this other shit. Young women are easier to manipulate, and that's just like the honest truth, especially for women who maybe don't have a lot of experience in like relationships or knowing like what somebody loving you or really wanting to take care of you looks like early on. Like we see it in our families maybe, but in a relationship sometimes I don't know what attracts younger women initially to maybe their first like loves or whatever, but I think there are certain guys, especially maybe older guys who have a little skin in the game, they know what to look out for as far as like, oh yeah, she easy, I'm gonna get her. Like that's the truth.
But the thing is, I also feel you say younger women are easy to manipulate. I think younger people are easy to manipulate.
Yeah,
I feel like younger men as well are easy to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that we kind of classify as simps because we don't really understand the game. We don't really know ourselves yet. We don't understand toxicity yet. I don't understand how much I'm gonna allow this chick to get away with before I have to now say some shit. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So anybody else want to add to young people being toxic?
Well, I feel that the young adults do have some kind of it. Not only that, it's also what they're showing on TV, TikTok, and stuff. Social media do play a big role on that. So it's up to a point where I have a teenager of my own, so it was up to a point where they was having miniature love and hip hop kind of situation.
Wow. How old is she, if you don't mind me asking?
It's like and they're very jealous. They're very jealous, and don't forget this generation is extremely sensitive to their emotions. So to watch this ratchetness, and then when it's being said to them, and it's like a lot of them be underneath. So it's like I had to distance her from certain people because of the ratchet sensitivity. So it's like you
was asking TJ how old she was, if you don't.
Well, the teenager that was trying to bring that in my home, she was what, a year, 2 years older than my daughter. 13 years old, know how to take buses and trains better than I do.
Yeah,
and
that was us.
Her mother
that was us,
wasn't firm, and I had to separate because I raised my child compared to how you raise your child is not the same, and your child bring that negative energy and stuff, and it's up to the point where she's saying certain things around my child, and my child asking me, I'm like, "What you mean? What the hell is finger pop? Who the hell said that?" You know, so it's like, oh no, you cannot be around her. She's negative. If you around her, you have to be around her when I'm sitting right there, so she can talk the way she needs to talk around adults. So is she going through the love and hip hop? Oh, she don't know she's bi. She don't know she want to be with a girl. So it's like they were more confused. So with them being confused and then going through that teenager part, I feel that the younger crowd is going through a level of trying to know themselves, which makes it seem toxic because sometimes it could go a bad way or a good way.
Okay.
So yes, the younger crowd, and as we were toxic. We had our moments where we got tired of being manipulated by the opposite or the same sex, and we basically started being like, you know what, I'm not gonna take control no more. I'm gonna do. No, I'm not. Don't tell me to do shit. What you gonna do? You do that again. I'm a
Right.
So that's our level of being toxic because we got tired of being manipulated.
We learned. We're learning from our experience, right? So we're not doing the same thing. Now we know. Go ahead. These kids are more open to the ratchetness and what can happen in relationships. So they already trying to think ahead because the movements that was seen on TV or they see that the young boy is doing it or she's sitting down with him. They must be texting and it's like I'm getting that now with my teenager friends and they think we together because I was tutoring him or and I'm like, what? Sitting with your boyfriend and want to fight. So the ratchetness come in and it's like, what? And I said, listen, don't, it's hard to train them when it's surrounded by them and it's even more people coming with that. It's the environment around them.
And then controlling the content that's around your child when you're around, and you don't want to be latched onto them. You want to give them some freedom where they could be their own selves, but you don't want to be on some robotic system with them.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
You're doing a great job though, because you're cognizant of it. You saw it,
Thank
and you're ready that your daughter was hanging out with. So you nipped that in the bud.
Oh, quick with a quickness. And I spoke to the mom before I cut it off. I spoke to the mom to see if the mom was going to discipline, you know, and the mother disciplined, trying to talk firmly to her, yelling, but it was nothing resolved because she's used to her mom doing that.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do now? Because obviously hitting her, and my child never got hit as a beating, none of that, So I could talk to my child, and you need to find out why she's doing this, why she didn't try to figure that out. So I said, you know what, my daughter, I just yanked my daughter away. I started going out where my daughter went to go.
Yeah,
I started
you do control of what you can control.
For the younger crowd, if the parents are, some of the parents are just overworked. Some of the parents are just ratchet with the kids. So if depending on the parent, if you are not trying to take control, there you go, you lost it. It's that younger crowd coming in, and they coming in fast.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring this episode to a close.
Wait, what?
This is part one. This is part one, ladies and gentlemen. This is part one. We're gonna bring this episode to a close on part one. TJ, can you let them know where to find us, please? Can you let them know where to find us?
Yes, you can go ahead. We drop new episodes every Wednesday. Apple Podcast. I thought you was gonna play my music, but it's okay. All right, you can hear us everywhere you hear podcasts. We got new episodes every Wednesday. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Then follow us on YouTube. We're at Sophisticatedly Podcast. Go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe button, the little bell. Follow us. We're also on social media. You can follow us at So Ratchet Podcast on IG, So Ratchet Podcast on TikTok, and So Ratchet Pod on Twitter.
And X, let them know where to find you, darling.
You can find me at IG. I am _Xtacy, Xtacy. So you can find me there. If I name the rest, y'all figure out the rest.
Yes, girl power. We love that you're here with us.
Yes. This is a 2-part episode, guys. Please make sure you join us for the next episode next week. We are going to go deeper into it, and we have a game for y'all next week. Word. Make sure y'all join us for the next episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. All right? Peace.